Hi everyone, it's me again, Samantha, your friendly EUC psychiatrist in New Zealand. In my previous video, I talked about my experience being pulled over by the police because riding in EUC is illegal here. The law clearly states that I can't ride on the road, so I'm bringing you this video from somebody's backyard with literally no roads. So hopefully I'm not breaking any laws here. I know I said I wanted to put my channel to rest, but I need to respond to some of your comments with a follow-up video. So first, let me thank you for all your lovely comments. They were very kind and encouraging. Okay, I don't have a good feeling about today's ride because I'll be riding off-road. I have avoided making off-road content until now because I'm not a skilled rider. I'm riding my big, heavy Master Pro with a street tire, so I'm hoping I won't get stuck in the sand. But a wise old man once told me that street tires are just as capable as knobby tires, so I'm going to take his word for it. Reading between the lines, I think he was saying, "Don't blame the wheel for your incompetence." So, for good luck, I'm going to channel some of his energy for today's ride. Let's start by answering the most common question in the comments. Many have asked if I could film myself riding off-road to skirt the law. Aside from my lack of skill, the legal definition of a road in New Zealand is very broad. It includes any area accessible to the public, including streets, motorways, riverbeds, beaches, wharves, bridges, car parks, and more. In addition to public access, the courts must also be satisfied that the public is indeed using it for it to be considered a road. So, unless the off-road trail is on private property, or is hardly used by anyone, it is still considered a road under the law. This severely restricts where I can legally ride and film, but it also creates some ambiguity. There were also passionate comments supporting the use of EUC coupled with legal advice. But despite their environmental and public safety benefits, everyone understood that EUCs are illegal and heavily restricted, regardless of how each country interprets the law. For reference, New Zealanders are still debating whether they should allow 12-year-olds to ride bicycles on footpaths, as some are worried this will endanger pedestrians. If this is how far we've come in 2026, then legalizing the EUC is about as far away as Mars. Previously, I was in denial because I believed the EUC lies in a gray area of the law, even though this was clearly not the case. Now that my innocence was robbed, I ride with extra caution every day. On the one hand, I strive to be as visible as possible so cars won't hit me. And on the other hand, my visibility also attracts police attention, creating a double bind for me. Although paying a $250 fine isn't too painful, repeated offenses can potentially lead to the confiscation of my wheel. And lastly, I'm not sure if the medical council will look upon me favorably as a criminal. And not just that, a criminal with a YouTube channel. To be clear, I'm still riding my wheel on most days, but I'm more vigilant about the police. I always ride with my dash cam on, so I can prove to others that I'm not riding recklessly. You might ask if all the stress is worth the trouble. When it comes down to it, I will have to take a break if they threaten to confiscate my wheel. That said, I must also be terribly irresponsible to let it get that far. There are many things I could do to prevent escalation, and to challenge the law outright is foolish. Ultimately, the value of my EUC can only be determined in hindsight. Use it wisely, and it will pay dividends. Likewise, use it poorly, and I will be punished. By now, some of you are dying to ask me this question. Why take the risk when there are safer options? Whether it's excitement, convenience, or community, the e-bike has it all. Some viewers have advised me to switch to riding an e-bike while telling stories to sustain my channel, which I kindly declined. Not because it isn't a good idea, but because all my stories revolve around the EUC as a metaphor for life. The EUC exposes us to our mortality, nurtures our inner child, teaches us to be responsible adults, helps us learn to trust, trains us not to fear, and intoxicates us with feel-good hormones. I couldn't spin the same stories while riding an e-bike. Furthermore, riding an e-bike wouldn't necessarily resolve the legal issues, because they generally exceed the 300-watt limit at peak motor output, leaving me back at square one. Regarding my videos, I'd like to thank Blue-Eyed Jackal for their long and moving comment. I was reminded of our responsibility to be positive role models, and I'd like to think that my YouTube videos portrayed that. It is important that I keep filming so others can see what the EUC lifestyle is like. Someone has mentioned in the past that my videos bring much needed balance to the EUC scene, as it is not focused on speed, performance, or risk-taking. While adrenaline-pumping videos can improve sales, boring EUC videos like mine help calm public perception. Rather than focusing on what or how to ride, I focus on why we ride. Finally, some viewers are rightfully fearful of the law. They don't want to burden themselves or their families by going to jail. I want you to know that I understand, and that your fear is perfectly legitimate. I am not fearless myself. If you can't tell, I am sweating bullets underneath my helmet because I am terrified. If riding an EUC inevitably ends in a trip to the hospital or the slammer, I'd be thinking twice before picking it up too. But what do I do with my anger? All my life, I have followed a script written for me and have been too cowardly to challenge it. But now I know that even a coward like me can inch towards progress as long as I never give up. Sometimes I fall down, but I get back up. I give myself breaks, not excuses. I'm angry about being told to wait for changes that may or may not happen. I don't want to put my life on hold so others can live out theirs. I cannot accept this for myself. I have but one life, and I'm not getting any younger. As Andy said to Red in The Shawshank Redemption, in the end, it comes down to one simple choice. Get busy living or get busy dying. My friends, you may not like what I'm about to say, but we are criminals. If not today, then tomorrow. No more ignorance, no more ambiguity, and no more denial. I was caught off guard, but I'm hoping you wouldn't. Unless you plan to ride in the shadows, it's only a matter of time before law enforcement catches up to you. So you'd better make up your mind today about the EUC. Fall in line with everyone else, or join the resistance. I can't tell you what to do, but I hope this video can help you make sense of your actions. Remember, the EUC is a metaphor for life. How you ride is how you live. And that's all I have for you today. I gotta run. Someone's coming.